touchdown. She hit the line on the far side, and the Rebels win.
Stop bleeding! Stop bleeding! He connects! Rebels with their first lead of the night.
And the Andover Huskies are your section champion.
It's a rivalry Friday night. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson. The Andover Huskies taking on the Anoka Tornadoes. And Tim, rivalry, whatever the sport, it's always fun.
Always fun, Steve. Always fun to get a game like this, especially these two teams, the city rivalry, the directionally close. These two teams don't really have a lot of love lost for each other. And it's an interesting game because these are two teams in two very different places. One team that's really having a nice season in Andover and a team that's growing under first-year coach Jesse Jefferson in Anoka.
Andover 8-4, Anoka 3-9, and we are meeting the Andover Huskies right now. And the guards Sam Masungo and Ben Kopetsky lead the way. Masungo 20.2 a game, Kopetsky 17.2. Don't forget about Connor Foy, 16.3 a game. Landon Nelson, Samuel Angel round out the starting five for Jeremy Habel in his first year.
First year indeed, and having a good year. And it's nice to inherit some young talent that can really play with Kopetsky and Masungo. They're going to give Anoka fits in the backcourt. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Tornadoes, but the Tornadoes have some scoring as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jay Nyamari leading the way at 17.4 a game. Keenan Rodriguez averaging 11.3. A.J. Housey averaging 11.4. So they have three guys that average in double figures.
And Rodriguez is going to be the key tonight. If he's going to be able to make shots from the outside, really takes pressure off of guys like Nyamari and Housey. Housey's an inside guy. He's not going to get much from 10 feet and out, but inside he's going to be a force, and that's where you're going to watch him be a factor tonight.
Colin Scherr and Reagan Reeder round out the starting five once again for Jesse Jefferson for the Anoka Tornadoes. They're at home in maroon, Andover in their road white. And we are just about ready to go with our QCTV crew, led by Taylor Johnson tonight. And settle in and enjoy the ball game. Always fun when these rivals meet, as I pointed out, whether it's boys hoops, girls hoops, hockey, you name it. It is always fun and a good crowd on hand. And you mentioned it, Tim. Student section well represented for both schools here tonight.
Yeah, very full. It's not a nice night, but they traveled. It's not a far game, so you're going to get a good crowd no matter what. And this is going to be a fun game tonight. Looking forward to it a lot. I think this Anoka team is much better than the record indicates. The big key will be, can this team make some stops in the early going? Should be fun to watch.
We got Housey in the middle of the floor for Anoka and Angel for Andover. Just about ready to go. And the ball is in the air. Won by Housey and grabbed in the backcourt by Scherr. And we are underway. Going to hand it off. Ayamara gives it up. Right back to the middle and Housey. Ayamara playing the perimeter. And that one stripped away. Masungo tipped it away, grabs it, puts up the three. Boom.
Telegraph pass from Anoka leading to a turnover, something they got to be very careful with. And Masungo showing great confidence from the outside, knocking down the early triple for Andover.
Masungo and Kopetsky on the perimeter really make it go for Andover. And a big reason they're 8-4 this year. Everybody knows when you play Andover, you got to deal with those two guards. Ayamari gives it up. Here's a touch.
Interesting change getting Felix Hashwangi in the game.
There's a little runner put up and off by Scherr, and the rebound to Andover. Here's Masungu, goes cross court, quick three on the way. Foy, no, rebound tapped around, grabbed by the Tornadoes.
Good sign for Anoka.
Scherr's got it, down to the block, stop, goes into the far corner, almost knocked away. Hashwangi loses the handle. Here come the Huskies, Kopetsky. Now it's Masungu. Quick three from the corner. Nelson, no, and the easy rebound. Ayamari.
It's another different lineup for Coach Jefferson, seeing Felix Ashwangi start. That's usually not what he's been doing. They're changing it up left and right. You can see Coach Jefferson giving Felix a hard time for stumbling there a little bit, but this is an Anoka team that's really looking for something. They're looking for some kind of continuity, and you see a lot of different lineups every night for this Anoka team, and another example of it here.
Yeah, and when I got the starters and the top reserves, Ashwangi wasn't even on that list from the coach, so it is a surprise. And I think you've got to mix it up when you're a little bit of an underdog. Trying to throw a new wrinkle at Andover is part of it.
And they're seeking answers, right? That's the whole thing. Jesse Jefferson's looking for some guys that can really fill that third, fourth, fifth scorer role, and looking for guys that are going to come out and hustle. And that's one thing Ashwangi does give them. He's an effort guy. He's a hustle guy. And they are looking for some more of that in the lineup, but also looking for a little offensive punch, maybe bringing some depth off the bench with a guy like Rodriguez. That'll be interesting to see when Keenan gets in the game.
That was a quick Andover timeout. 16:15 to go, first half. Huskies with the lead and the ball. Masungu on top, has only 3 points in the game so far. Kopetsky lost it, got it back, drives in, tough left-handed shot, and the Tornadoes come out of there with it. Sure. They had a couple of big boards early in this game. Into the paint, nice dish, Housey, no. And the rebound tapped out of there and grabbed by Foy.
Nice job, though, by Shearer, playing under control early on, giving them a chance.
Huskies up by 3. $15:30 to go, first half. Tornadoes doing a good job on the perimeter defensively. Masungo down the lane, double team comes, gets it to fall.
Nice job of not committing the foul, though. Giving up the layup, yes, but not committing the foul, living for another day right there. I like what they did defensively, moving Housey up on the perimeter. That's usually not something they do.
Sure, drives down to the block, up with the right hand, nice shot.
Boy, if Shearer can score like that with the offhand, he's a left-handed player most of the time, but that time he goes with his right, able to get the finish. That's a big quiver in the arrow in the quiver for Colton Shearer.
He has done a good job here tonight with a couple of boards on the defensive glass. Masungu on top. Sit out on the wing, Kopetsky all the way to the hole, and it blocked out of there. Grabbed by the Tornadoes, Reeder. Reeder down the floor, hard to the hole, put it up, no. Rebound, Masungu. On the break, too far. Kopetsky saves it, but Ashwangi has it. Goes out in the corner. Nyamari! Tie ball game.
Jay Nyamari had 7 threes against Coon Rapids in the loss and 27 points. He can fill it up from the outside when he gets it going. Big example right there.
Nice look. High-low play. Angel lays it in off the feed by Masungu. They get it right back. There's an assist for Sam to go with his 5 points, 2 for Angel. Ashwangi has it. He has it, looked at it, 3 drives into the paint. Scoop, no. Rebound to Angel. He's going to bring it up the floor. Give it up, Kopetsky, quick 3. Oof.
Boy, Kopetsky's really good when he gets an opportunity to set his feet and shoot. See him miss a couple early on when he was on the drive, but standing up and shooting, no problem. And you can already see the matchup problems those guards create for Andover.
Down in the corner, Tornadoes grab. Reeder traveled, took an extra step. 3rd turnover by my count on Anoka. And that's one of the things. They've got to keep turnovers tonight, if possible, under double digits.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to win turning the ball over a lot. And that's another thing you see is another issue that they've had is they get a made basket and immediately give up a couple of easy ones on the other end. This has been the challenge for Anoka defensively, is getting stops after they get a couple of made hoops.
Kopetsky shovels it down low, up with the left hand. Masungu, he already has 7 in the game, 12-5 Andover.
They need Reagan Reeder to play bigger than that. He allowed Masungu to get what he wanted on the inside. You've got to take control of the inside when you're one of the bigs.
Nyamari gets it outside. Here's Reeder. Drives into the block. They say he traveled again.
Yeah, good call, too.
He got a little bump, but he walked. Now we've got Mallett coming into the game. Joey Mallett, senior, 6'8". Big guy comes in, and sitting down is going to be Angel.
And Reeder's had some injuries, so he's just been back recently.
but they need him to play like a big forward. They don't need another point guard or another guy who can handle. They need a guy who can go down, get rebounds, get the dirty points.
Kopetsky, another long three. He's got 6, 15-5, just like Dan. Andover up by 10. Timeout on the floor for Anoka. And Andover shooting the ball well, and you can see Kopetsky, that quick release. That is smooth as silk.
And he's feeling really good about it, too. He's got a little mojo, and that's one thing you know about Kopetsky. When he starts to feel it, he lets it show on the court. He's a showman out there, and that's exactly what he was doing after that made three, getting his crowd riled up, getting his teammates riled up, and that's what he does so well. Anoka's just got to regroup. They've got to figure out what they want to do offensively, and I think the key is getting the ball in Nyamari's hands. You like Regan Reeder scoring, but I want him scoring on the inside. I don't want him handling the ball and driving it to the basket right there. I'd like to see him play a little more under control.
Andover took an early timeout up 3-0. Now Anoka with the TO, down by 10. Obviously Andover's big lead. And they were able to tie it at 5. And a pretty good sequence for Anoka. But since then, a 10-0 Husky run.
And now they got guys on the floor who can shoot. They got Housey, who's an inside threat as a rebounder. But you got Shearer, Rodriguez, Nyamari, and Trey Borchers, who can all shoot. Look for them to spread the floor and try to get some looks from downtown here.
Rodriguez inbound to Scher. Here come the Tornadoes. Down by 10. Into the ball game. Borchers shovels it outside Housey. Housey back into the corner. Here's Scher. No. Rebound Kopetsky.
Like that idea, though. It's a good look.
Down the lane. Blocked out of there by Housey. Grabbed by Rodriguez. In transition, gives it up, missing the layup, Nyamari, and the rebound comes down to Masungu. Masungu, quick three. No, and the rebound, Nyamari. Here come the Tornadoes. 12 to go in the half. Over on the wing, here's Borchers. No. Long rebound into the corner, Sure. We'll settle it down. Sure into the paint, gives it up. Housey, good move to the hole, little short. And the rebound comes down to Andover.
Some good sequence. Anoka's better when they pick up the pace. You can see they play with a lot more energy when they're running in the open floor. They got a lot of good looks, just didn't make any.
Landon Nelson had that board. Nice look down low. Nelson on the block outside Masungu. Tries to drive, turned away. Andover hangs on. Long three, Kopetsky again.
Boy, he has got something from the outside. He is so hard to guard. You got to put a hand in his face. Even though he was way out there, you still got to guard him. That's a travel.
I got to travel on the Tornadoes and Rodriguez. 5th on my count. 18-5 Andover. And Kopetsky showing some serious range. That's close to an NBA three.
Sure is. And what these made threes do is they just sort of deflate the opposition because it forces Anoka to press. It forces them to have to play a little faster than maybe they want. And here you see the travel with Rodriguez. Now they bring Padani in, a freshman, and they're going to look for some punch from the young kid.
Kopetsky gives it up. Here's a cutter for Andover, and he hits the shot. That was Jacobson.
Boy, everybody making shots for Andover right now.
They are on fire quickly the other way. Nyamari missed it. That went down, came out. Kopetsky again. Kopetsky on top, shovels it off. Jacobson now over to the left, right back to the middle. Kopetsky. Masungu on the bench, getting a breather with 7 points.
He's got 9 points for Kopetsky.
9 for him. DeVellis in the game. Connor DeVellis.
It's kind of an apocalyptic start for Anoka right now. They've just struggled to find the offensive rhythm. And defensively, I think they've been deflated by the made baskets.
Andover hangs on, up by 15. 10:35 to go in the half. Kopetsky swings it over. Now it's Jacobson. Now Kopetsky out the middle of the floor. Here's a long three, that's short. Rebound tapped around. Nyamari. He grabs it in transition. 3-on-1, gives it up. Sure, the layup. Nice feed. He's got 4.
That's what Nyamari does really well. He's got a very high offensive basketball IQ. And right there, he made the really smart play. Didn't play out of control. Got the easy layup to Shearer.
Foy gives it up. DeVellis. Another long one. Kopetsky's missed 2 in a row. And we got a foul down low, and I think that's going to go on Mallett.
And that's what A.J. Housey does for you. Athletically, he might be one of the most gifted athletes I've seen in the building. He can just jump all over the gym. And right there's an example of what he can do. Now you bring in a big bruiser like Peyton Lackinen, and you go bigger for a little while here. Tornadoes going to continue to try new things for Coach Jeremy Habel on the other side. We'll see how he counters.
Team fouls even at 1 apiece, 20-7 Andover, Anoka the ball. And it is Rodriguez. Iamari catching, dribbles toward the middle of the floor, gives it up. Housey. Rodriguez on the perimeter, drives in, toward the corner, threw it away. Padani couldn't come up with it, but it was apparently touched by Andover. And Anoka's going to hang on, and Rodriguez will inbound. 9:44 to go here in a half, number 1.
Still felt a little out of control there, though, for Keenan Rodriguez. Want to see him play it, get that pass a little crisper, a little cleaner, not telegraph that so much.
Rodriguez to the outside, Housey to catch. A.J. Housey hands it off to Rodriguez. Like those green shoes.
Anderson now in the game for the Anoka Tornadoes. He replaces Pete Meyer. Excuse me, sorry, I got to speak back.
Anderson against Coon Rapids at all the other night. Same with Peyton Lackinen. And now both guys have had minutes in the first half.
Iamari with the 3, his second of the game. He has 6, 22-10. That helps. A couple of made threes.
Now you got to answer with a stop on the other end, and this is where Anoka's got to be a little stronger defensively. Get a stop and see if you can get a hoop and get it back under 10.
Jacobson. Strengy's on the floor as well for Andover. Jacobson now handling the ball a little bit. That was DeVellis. Now over to the right. Here's Strengy again. Strengy on the floor into the paint. Better get rid of it. No, he traveled. Andover, by my counts, just turned it over twice.
That's true. Yeah, they've been pretty clean in the way they've played offensively. Strengy that time, I think, might have fallen victim to this floor, which is just a very slippery surface.
Rodriguez is going to bring it up the floor. They'll give it up, Padani. Padani stops. Now further out. Adam Anderson had it for a moment. Now it's Padani again. Peyton Padani. Slipped and fell. You called it. Here we go the other way. Luke Jacobson all the way in. Nice move. Laid it. Up right over the front of the rim. He has 4:24-10 Andover.
And Padani's dinged up. Ref calls a timeout because Padani clearly landed on his side weird or landed on something because he's feeling it and needed to get out of there right away. That's going to get Donald Praw into the game. It is. You ask the players, and this is something that, when I sit around and say, "What's the what floor do you like not playing on?" They said ours. The Anoka guys do not. This floor is very slippery, and it's very hard to keep your footing in the wintertime when you get out here.
Rodriguez tried to give it up. Housey couldn't save it. Stepped out of bounds. Well, great idea, but a little too hot, and Housey couldn't hang on. Another turnover on the Tornadoes. I have them at 7 turnovers. Way too many.
Way too many. That's going to be a problem, especially when you have guards on the other side. When Kopetsky and Masungu are both on the floor for Andover, and they can do the damage they can do. And the one thing about them, they take care of the ball.
Kopetsky all the way and blocked out of there by Housey. Here's Rodriguez in transition all the way to the hole. That's blocked right back. Quite a block there defensively by Strengy. Now Masungu into the paint. Little 8-footer is good. He's in double figures.
That looked like he was off balance the whole way, but he really wasn't. Once he settled, he had it.
Rodriguez, quick three. I don't know if it caught iron. Strengy, outlet Masungu. In transition, gives it up. Out on the wing, Kopetsky. Across, Masungu drives in. Up with the left hand, he'll draw the foul. Foul's going to probably go against Nyamari.
Yeah, you got a clothesline right there on Masungu, and that's going to put him on the line. And
actually, Rodriguez is going to get the foul. They've let him play. That's his first. Second team foul on Anoka, just one on Andover so far.
Yeah, you think 12 minutes into a pretty hotly contested rivalry game to only have 3 fouls.
That is the first made free throw of the game. And that's 12 points for Masungu. 27-10.
Big changes as Andover brings back 3.
Jacobson, Kopetsky, Masungu, Angel on the floor, and I think Foy's back out there.
Yep.
And he is.
Yep.
Or Nelson, excuse me. Nelson's out there. So miss a second. So Andover's free throw percentage, 50%. They're probably shooting better than that from the field so far in the game.
And I would say Anoka would be beneficial to get to the free throw line, but Anoka's had one of the, just really struggled from the stripe this year. And maybe just playing this up and down, not getting to the line as much is not a bad thing.
Here come the Tornadoes. Bra. They get it into the paint. How's he had it stripped away? What a strip there by Nelson. Masungu goes in, and he got fouled. And he'll pop up. He'll be okay. But that was above the rim there, Tim.
2 big physical specimen going way above the rim right there. And Housey, I thought was maybe going to get that block, but must have got some body in that collision, and that's what created the foul. But it shows you just what both those athletes can do. Sam can get up, and so can AJ, and that's a lot of fun to watch.
Gets a free throw there. He is up to 13 points. And 28-10. 6-0 run for Andover. They extend their big lead to 18 at the moment. He will get one more. And he buries that now 3 of 4 from the line. And here come the Tornadoes. Sure. Back on the point. Drives left to the lane, gets down to the block, up with the right hand. Nice shot. That's a good play. He's got 6.
Colton Shear is playing really well for them right now. I would let him handle the ball every trip down the floor because he's playing under control.
Masungu, down low Angel, kicks it right back out. Kopetsky drives in, off the glass. First 2-pointer, he has 11 in the game.
Communication breakdown right there. You get the blow-by on defense and no help from the bigs on the inside. That's a problem.
Jacobson strips it from Sher. Masungu the other way, lays it in. He has absolutely gone nuts here in the first half.
Yeah,
33-12 Andover.
Those two are off the charts right now, and you are seeing it. It's big-time stuff. From this,
Sher needs some help. Going to dribble out to the middle and get set. Swing it out to the left. Porchers. That one's almost tipped away by Jacobson. Jacobson getting some minutes here. The junior playing really well. Now Masungu on the steal. He's going to give it up to Jacobson. He can't handle it. It goes out of bounds.
So tenacious defensively, Steve. That is really impressive to watch what Andover does at the top with their guards. Their guards know how to jump in passing lanes. And they extend the defense that way without putting on a press, without putting on a trap. That's just really good fundamental defense that extends the floor out and forces the offense for Anoka to start earlier than they want it to.
Jacobson sits down with 4 for Andover. Foy back in. Masungu, Kopetsky, Foy, Nelson, Angel out there. Driving in, putting up the shot, getting rejected there was Rodriguez. Or actually, I think it was Nyamari. They get it down low. Angel in the paint. Put it up and in. He elevated. Angel has 4. 35-12. Andover rolling. 4:35 to go in the half.
Trey Borchers will not be able to guard Angel on the inside. Not a great matchup for the Tornadoes there.
Pra gets the board and then threw it away. Too bad. Trying to get it to the perimeter and Nyamari, but threw it away. And right now, 1 turnover shy at 10 for Anoka, and that just is not going to get it done.
No, and that's just it. Anoka's trying to counter with bigs whenever Andover goes big, and you go with Anderson and Reeder. It's a tough matchup, though, for Anoka. Some of the bigs and some of the speed at the guard positions really, really difficult.
16 for Masungu to lead the way. But right behind him, Kopetsky, he has 11. Here he drives in. Almost lost balance, got the rebound. Rodriguez, he'll step out, try the three. Hit the three, his fourth of the half.
That's he's unguardable right now.
38-12, 3:45 to go in the half. Teacher's night. Back to the outside. Tornadoes try a shot. That was Anderson, couldn't hit. Adam Anderson. Right back the other way. Another long three. Kopetsky. Fifth three of the half. 17 in the game. 41-12 Huskies. Wow.
It's teacher's night, but right now it's Kopetsky and Masungu and the Andover Huskies who are given the lessons. And it is a defensive lesson and an offensive lesson. What Kopetsky's able to do from the outside is just good old-fashioned practice, work ethic, and repetition, because he just knows how to set his feet, get his shoulders square, and put up the shot at the hoop consistently. And you just marvel at the consistency of Kopetsky and Masungu. Really terrific stuff from their guards. And then, just when you think you got the guards kind of figured out and bottled up, they go inside to guys like Angel, and they get that interior defense of Anoka kind of bunched up and in trouble, and that's where they take advantage of you. Andover hits you at every level.
I think he's 5 of 7 from downtown. He had a couple of misses in a row. I have him at 5 of 7. Mentally, maybe 5 of 8. I missed one, but I think he only missed 2. 41-12. Tornadoes the ball. Rodriguez put up a shot off the side of the backboard. Rebound Nelson. Kopetsky another long three off the heel of the rim. Rodriguez aboard for the Tornadoes.
Good old-fashioned heat check there, Steve.
Yeah, I guess. Anderson to the free throw line, gives it up in the corner. He'll get it right back. Further out. Reeder to the free throw line. And now Scher will reset. 3 to go in the half. Scher to the block. Fade away. High off the glass. Got it to go. He's had a nice game. 8 points. He really has.
Yeah, he has really played well. And again, it's because he has not panicked. He has not tried to just race through a 1-on-4 defense. He takes the matchup that's there and he makes the right decision. Colton Scher's playing well tonight.
Here's Landon Nelson, averaging just under 6 a game. Masungu down the lane. Got hammered.
Wow.
Went down hard. Look out. Oof.
He took a nasty one, and Housey and Shearer are going to help him up, but boy, that was a violent collision.
3 of 4 from the line. He has 16 points. Foul obviously on the Tornadoes, and that's going to go on. It's going to go on Anderson.
And again, interesting to watch the different guys who are getting minutes tonight for Coach Jefferson.
Got the make, and the fact that he's hanging in there is he really went down hard on that.
That was a
play.
big hit, and now him and Kopetsky each 17 points in the first half for 34 of the team's 42. I mean, that is getting it done.
That went off no good, so a bit of a blemish. 4 of 6 from the free throw line. There's a quick three, Reeder. 42-17, his first points of the game. Sure leads the way for the Tornadoes with 8. 6 for Nyamari.
They will take a lot more of those. Get some defensive stops, get a couple of makes.
Angel into the paint, the hook, short. Gets his own rebound, it goes out of bounds. Pretty good battle down there with Reeder, and it goes out of bounds off Reeder.
But I like that from Regan Reeder to play bigger, right? Force Angel to at least body him up and try to take an off-balance shot. Now, obviously, you want to get that rebound, but that's a big physical play, and that's what the Tornadoes need right now. Not finesse. They need toughness on the inside.
2:01 to go, first half, 42-17, Andover. Quick three from the corner, long rebound to Anderson. Hill outlet. Scher's going to go right at it, reverse layup. Couldn't get it to go, too bad. Rebound ripped out of there by Landon Nelson. I'll hand it off. Here's Kopetsky. Better meet him at the middle of the floor. He'll drive into the paint, spin, tried to kick it out, tipped away. Anderson ahead to Nyamari, all the way in, layup, nice play. He has 8. That was pretty.
Nice play by Adam Anderson there to make that outlet happen quickly, get that offense moving quickly for the Tornadoes.
Foy gets a touch, hounded by Anderson, tipped away, good play. He'll get it back, he falls down, got fouled by Masungu, that'll be his first. And just a little hip check there.
Yeah.
I mean,
just a little introduction, you know, just a little something to let you welcome you to the game. One thing you noticed defensively in the last 2 sequences, Steve, A.J. Housey, they've moved out to guard Kopetsky. Now you're looking at their big guy, their forward, their big athlete on the inside, guarding their guard. That's pretty interesting to look at.
Housey gonna hand it off, I'm sure. 1:13 to go on the half. Tornadoes trail. Nyamari, he has 8. Couple of 3-pointers. Anderson played some good minutes here. Brought a spark for sure. Here's Reeder. Reeder puts it on the floor, drives in.
Is that offensive?
And I think we have a foul off the ball there. Let's see.
Either that or they got offensive on Reeder. Maybe a push-off?
Sure. I think they got sure off
they did.
the ball.
You're right. Good call. Maybe an illegal screen there, huh?
Yep. Number 2, 15 foul, 3 on Andover. Under a minute to go in the half. Free throws really not a factor. The only free throws in the game, Sam Masungu. He's 4 of 6. Kopetsky, quick 3. No. Rare miss. Rebound tapped out of there. Housey, good play. It ends up in Nyamari's hands, and then he gets fouled by Masungu. That's his second on Sam.
Aha! Anoka's finding a little something that works defensively, bringing Housey out away from the underneath the basket and having him guard guards. That's the thing about him that's so special. He's big, he's tall, he's athletic, he can jump, but he's also quick with good hands. He's guarding guards.
Yeah, and the length helps on the perimeter, especially trying to slow down Masungu and Kopetsky, particularly Kopetsky. Nyamari near the block, goes out toward the corner. Grab there, here's Reeder. Reeder's gonna put it on the floor in the paint. Stop, back out. Nyamari, long 3, short. Rebound ripped down by Nelson. That was a pretty board. Out on the wing, Jacobson. Further out, Kopetsky. Anderson really meeting him out there. And he's got some length as well. Under 10 to go in the half. He puts it on the floor, drives in, kicks it out, far corner, hold on. We got a charge on Kopetsky. That'll be his first. 1.7 to go in the half. Now the Tornadoes are going to get a shot off. We'll see.
Another quick change, bringing Alpha Commanda into the game. Another guy who didn't play at all in the loss to Coon Rapids. He's on the floor tonight. Oh, what's that?
Reeder traveled
first.
Took a step in front of the scorer's table. 0.5 to go in the half.
That's 3 travels on Regan Reeder. And I know he wants to argue with the refs, but the ref's 100% right. You can't move your feet before you start dribbling.
Toward the bucket on the inbound. That won't amount to anything. But Andover has a 42-19 lead over Anoka here at the half. And Tim, you can point to Ben Kopetsky from the perimeter and then really Sam Masungu on the dribble penetration.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 punch that's really hard to stop because as soon as you come out and try to pressure the guards, they drive on you and they get the looks on the inside. But I think they found something at the end. Move your tall guys out, meet the guards earlier. Maybe it disrupts the offense, and maybe the Anoka Tornadoes can build on that in the second half.
Andover led by Sam Masungu with 17. Ben Kopetsky, 5 made threes. He has 17 as well. The Tornadoes are led by Colin Schur with 8, and Jay Nyamari has 7 points. Andover leads at 42-19 at the half. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson will be back with the second half coming up here on QCTV.
When prepping for your lunch for work, don't use plastic Ziploc bags. Mother Earth has an idea for you. Instead, use beeswax wrap, Tupperware, and cloth bags. Mother Earth.
Welcome to At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our local area high school sports. I'm your host, Seamus Burke. Let's start off with the Anoka gymnastics team. They're an ambitious group looking ahead to a big season. Let's head out and talk with the Tornadoes.
At my elementary school, there was a gymnastics after school, and that's where I started. And me and my best friend, she's actually another captain. And from there, I decided to be done with dance, and I just kept on with gymnastics, and been doing it ever since.
I tried out a lot of sports when I was younger, but I didn't like to have like shoes on. I was kind of a weird kid like that. I don't know, I just had a lot of energy always jumping off the furniture, so my parents thought it would be a good idea, and it kind of just stuck.
We actually got a couple new girls, and we lost a couple girls that were really important to our team. But the new girls are showing promise, and we've been working really hard all summer, so we still have our hardest skills. We're starting off strong.
What's been really fun so far this year is the amount that we have to gain. They're so talented, they're so hardworking, and they're going to develop a lot from the first meet to the last meet. Last year we came in strong, went strong, and ended strong. It was just a seasoned group, and every meet felt just kind of almost a little too easy because they were so practiced, so rehearsed. They'd been with each other so long. Last year we only had one new team member because of COVID. This year we have many more, and many more stepping into big roles. And so it was an exciting start knowing that we were going to grow each meet, that our score would grow, that their performances would grow. And that's already happened just in our first couple meets. So it's exciting each time to see what's going to come next.
I think it's really cool how everyone focuses on themselves. You want to do your best, but even if you mess up, you still get really excited when your teammates do really good. So I personally, I've done really bad at meets, but I still am really happy at the end because everyone else did really good or someone else got a PR. And it's just, we're all there for each other. We're very supporting.
I think gymnastics is unique because it's just such a mentally tough sport that the team bond is almost way different than any other sport would be, because you have to be there for each other so much mentally and support each other when you're having a rough day. It's so mental. It's super physical too, but I would say it's 90% mental, 10% physical. So yeah, you have to be there for each other a lot, so it creates a really good team atmosphere.
We really, really want to make it to state as a team. We haven't done that in 12 years, a really long time. And we've been so close, and our competition is getting a little easier, so hopefully we can make it this year.
Next, we have the Andover dance team. The members describe their time together and their love for each other as more of a family than a team. Let's learn more about this awesome group.
My name is Natalie Shepard, and I've been with Andover Dance Team for 4 years. These 4 years have been amazing. I've made so many friends, and honestly, they are considered part of my family, and my sister's on the team, and so it's just been so fun. I've learned and grown in so many different ways. I'd say the difference between this year's team and last year's team is everyone is a lot closer this year, and they have so many new qualities that they can bring to the team and that they contribute, and I think everyone has kind of taken a next step into going to new goals and reaching new heights. This year, I'd say our goals are being able to get to new skills that we haven't really been able to before, and I think with this team it's completely possible. I think that we're in a good spot at the start of the season, and I'm really excited.
I've been dancing for the dance team for 4 years. I've been on both fall and winter. I started dance when I was in kindergarten. I've always loved it. My mom always wanted me to be in it, and I just fell in love with it, I guess. I think this year we finally all found our love for dance, and we've always had it, but I just think this year really has shown how far we can take ourselves, and just we just have a family here, and it's really awesome. My goal, our goals for this year are just to try our best at every competition. I think we all just want to up our scores, be there for each other, and just love each other. I think our dance team just really shows, like I said, how much of a family we are, and we just, the difference from last year and this year has just been amazing, and just that we all have so many supporters, and it's just been so great.
My name is Grace Amel. I've been dancing on the fall team for 3 years and the winter team for 2 years. Well, actually I was a gymnast for about 12 years before I started dancing, and then once I got to high school, I mean, it just looked fun, so I decided I'd try it, and it just kind of blossomed into what it is now. Well, last year's team was great. I think we started a lot of the growth that we're continuing this year, and just the girls on the team this year, they're motivated, they want it, and you can tell, and it's really shown in our performances. Well, I mean, state is the ultimate goal always. It's always what we're working towards, but I think more than like a material goal, we're just looking to advance our program and do the best we can this season and build off of what we started last year.
Next, we have the Champlain Park Alpine Ski Team. Let's check in with the Rebels and get their thoughts on the challenges the team has faced during this unique year.
My name is Jack Thomason. I've been on the team for 4 years now, and I'm the boys' captain. To me, being captain is about including everybody. I like to make sure that I always go around and make sure everyone's having fun, talk about how their nights are going, and ask if they need any help or any advice with anything. I just try and be a positive role model and show leadership in that way. I personally would like to go to state. I would also love if our team would make it to state. We have a great team this year. We have a great shot at going, and if everything turns out the way it's supposed to go, we might just go. So,
my name is Anthony Hurlitz. I am a senior at Champlain Park High School, and I've been skiing with the Champlain Park Alpine team for 4 years now. Actually, it takes about an hour to get to practice every day, and then an hour home after practice every day. So it's 2 hours out of the day. Some people might think that's a bunch of time wasted, but a lot of us actually enjoy the bus ride a lot more than practice, because you get to hang out with a bunch of your friends, you get to talk to them, you get to mess around, and it's a lot of fun. So I mean, we don't find it as time wasted. Some of us actually really look forward to the bus versus practice, because some nights are not most fun on the hill.
I'm Sam Johnson. I'm a senior at Champlain Park, and I've been skiing since freshman year. There you go. Just ski, feel me? But this year we got a really solid team. We got 27 people, I think. So, and a lot of them are very fast, forceful, and aggressive skiers. So, yeah, it's all in the legs and core. You're really pushing with those legs to push off of the ground, and just getting those racing lines in, sort of like Formula One stuff, and you'll be the fastest kid on the hill. So. Just the other night, we did a couple runs. I shaved off 9 seconds just that night, so it was pretty good.
I'm Brooke Murray. I'm a senior in high school, and I've been on the team for 4 years. There's a lot different between my freshman year and my senior year. With skill and ability, it's a huge difference. Knowing what I'm doing, huge difference. And the size of the team has gone up by a lot since my freshman year, so the whole experience is completely different. I like being around my team a lot. We spend a lot of time together, and just watching each other improve is also really amazing to see. My personal goal is just to get faster, keep improving, and have fun.
And we are back. Half number 2. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson here on a rivalry Friday night. Andover at Anoka. Huskies have the lead. 17 at the half. Sam Masungu and Ben Kopetsky. 4 points, Samuel Angel and Luke Jacobson off the bench. And from the corner, there's a 3. Rebound hauled in by Angel, and we got a foul on the Tornadoes. Looks like it's going to be the first foul on Reeder. And it is.
Big strategy here for the Tornadoes. I mean, you're down by quite a bit here. You want to chip away. But the one thing you want to do is see if somebody else can beat you outside of Kopetsky and Masungu. See if you can put the pressure on somebody else to make some shots.
And it's Masungu, 17 points, 1 3-pointer. Made 4 free throws in that first half. Here's Kopetsky, 5 made threes. Puts it on the floor, and he got fouled. Got fouled on the drive. Alpha Kamanda with the foul.
I don't mind that foul by Commanda. Look, the blow-by was going to happen. You don't want to get beat at the rim, so go ahead and foul. And if you're Anoka, again, you got to anticipate the blow-by and have the help defense ready for Commanda.
Here's Masungu. Down low, Angel the catch on the block. Right back out to Masungu. Two-man game. Angel inside, trying to back his man down. Up with the right hand, no. And the rebound ripped down by Nyamari. Nyamari quickly into the front court, and Anderson. Commanda down the lane, up, off, tipped by Housey, no. Rebound Anderson. Housey can't handle it, Kopetsky. Ahead, Masungu, nice move. Little Euro step, got it to go.
That was Europe, Asia, and South America on that step, but he got away with it.
Right. He has 19 to lead all. Nyamari. And you see that more. I've seen it a number of times in games this year. It doesn't get called. Here's one from the outside. That's off by Reeder.
It's just
rebound to Andover.
Just become a thing now.
Yep. Runner there by Kopetsky, and he got fouled. Commanda, that'll be his second, third on the Tornadoes. And I think he's going to sit down. And he will. And going into the game is Colin Schur. He had 8 points. Of course, Nyamari had 8 at the half. I misspoke right before the break for halftime. They led the Tornadoes. Here's Kopetsky in the corner. Step back, long two, out no good. And the rebound to Reeder. But did he get bumped? I think he did by Angel.
Yeah, looks like it, he did. I like that defense by Shearer because at the very least you moved Kopetsky off his spot. You forced him to catch it, make a move, and then have to double back for a jump back. You'll take that. He'll make that sometimes too, but at least that's an uncomfortable shot for Kopetsky.
Sure to Anderson. Across. Boy. Telegraph pass. The steal. Nelson layup. He's in the book. 46-19.
Way too easy. Way too easy. Tornadoes got to take care of the basketball and play a lot smarter.
Sure, into the paint. Swings it out. Nyamari now to Anderson on top. Anderson's played some good minutes here for the Tornadoes.
He's a team leader. He's a senior. He's tough.
Yep. Reeder to the block. Further out. Nyamari. High arcing three. Got it to go. Second made three of the game. He's in double figures. That was a beauty. And a timeout. 15:41 to go the second half.
And they kind of go as he goes. They got down early to Coon Rapids the other night, and he made the run. He was the one that got them back by making outside shots and getting his own shot when he needed to. And that's the Tornadoes kind of rely on that. If he can get going, make some shots, I think that's a big help for them. On the other side, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing defensively on Andover. Kopetsky's not getting the clean looks that he was getting before. I think now this is where you start to look at a Nelson or an Angel and see if you can't get them the ball on the inside. And see if you can at least get that defense of Anoka to kind of collapse back down into the paint and maybe free up the outside a little bit more.
These teams meet again in Andover on Valentine's Day, Monday night, February 14th. Anoka at Andover. I haven't looked that far ahead on the QCTV schedule. Not sure if we're going to be there that night.
I think we are at the girls' game here, actually, that night, because I think I'm working that game, Steve.
Ah, so you have looked that far ahead.
I have looked that far ahead.
I'm kind of day-to-day. Masungu down the lane, left hand, got it to go. Masungu, 21 points in the game, 48-22.
He is poetry in motion. So fun to watch.
Up with the left hand, Nyamari to the elbow, right back out.
Boy,
almost
again.
knocked away, and it was knocked away. Nelson, his second steal, and then it got blocked, and the foul's going to go on Reeder. Doesn't like it, doesn't matter. That'll be the 14th foul on Anoka.
Yeah, goaltending actually is what they're going to call on Reeder. And so they're going to count the basket and give it to the Tornadoes. But I'll tell you what, I don't love the body language from Reagan Reeder. I really don't. I think he needs to perk up a little bit here. He's got to play a little tougher. He's had some travel calls. He's had a tough game. He's getting beaten around a little bit. Need to see him keep his head in a little bit. I saw the kind of the head sag a little bit on the walk back.
Sure, into the lane, up, off, no good, tough break. Rebound Anderson, he goes down hard, pops right up. Man, he's an energy guy. Adam Anderson, 6'4" senior. I like what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is interesting that he's getting some run tonight, the run that he's getting.
Nice feed down low, Angel up and got it to go. Nice catch, he's got 6. Andover by 30. Anderson down on the baseline, swings it out. Sure, thought about a three, drives into the paint, spin, good move, just couldn't finish. Andover the rebound. Now Kopetsky in transition, up with the left hand, blocked out of there. Angel the board, no. Followed by Nelson. Rebound Anderson for Anoka. He'll lob it ahead to Scher in the corner. Nice catch. All the way to the hole. Got it to go. What an acrobatic play by Scher. He has 10. That was pretty.
This is one of the best games I've seen out of Colton Shearer this season. Oh, great answer.
How about Landon Nelson? 7 points, all in the half, 55-24. Here's Rodriguez. Now Scher. That was a pretty catch and sequence by Scher. That was good. Reeder in, missed the shot, drew the foul, and that foul is going to go on Landon Nelson. So a very quiet first half, but he has been active. Couple of steals, 7 points, and now a foul.
Well, when you're going to have if you're going to come out and really put the pressure on Kopetsky and Masungu and try to shut them down, somebody else has to step up and make shots, and that's been Landon Nelson. Really impressive. And Reeder's tough night continues as the missed free throw happens.
First missed free throw of the night for the Tornadoes. They
haven't
had a
many.
make either. That was their first period.
Well, that helps the misses. They had about 13 misses against Coon Rapids the other night, so you won't miss as many if you just don't take that many.
So he gets the make there, 55-25. Reeder with 4, and we have a number of Joy Millette in for Andover.
Trying to put some
get
pressure.
Everybody on the floor. Masungu trapped in the backcourt. Stepped out of bounds. Good job by Rodriguez and Anderson. And he gets congratulations from the coaching staff, and why not? Rodriguez, long three. That's off no good. Rebound Millette. And now Kopetsky. Kopetsky, 5 made threes. Drives in, off the glass, got it to go. Not much you can do about that. He has 19.
Yeah, great night. Keenan struggled from the outside. Like to see Keenan figure out how to put it on the floor. Oh, man.
Sure tried to go without the ball.
If you're
Turnover on the Tornadoes.
Yeah, you're down by 32, so here's what you do. You just try to see if you can win a couple of minutes. Try to play this game in like 3 or 4 minute chunks and say like, okay, can we win in this 3 to 4 minute chunk? Let's not turn it over in this 4 minutes. Let's get a couple of stops.
Masungu down the lane, up with the left hand. Look at that. How is he in his hip pocket? And he still made the shot.
Goodness
what
gracious.
A game. He's got 23.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Masungu Kopetsky show, you could sell that out in a lot of places. It is a great show.
Anderson, top of the key three, heel to the rim, no good. Rebound Millette. Hell out with Kopetsky. Getting some backcourt pressure. Masungu to the hole, gives it up. Millette, reverse layup, got it.
That little move by Masungu with the ball, that was so dazzling.
Tornadoes.
Yep.
Oshwongle in the game again. He played early, and now he's back in here. We didn't see him after the opening minutes of that first half.
Yeah, it was a bad matchup for him because he's a little smaller and he runs up against those bigs for Andover. It wasn't a good matchup. Now you bring Pagan Lackinen back in, and that's one thing. Felix wasn't happy about that call, but it's a good call. That guy was planted. And if you're Anoka, you can't worry about calls at this stage. You just need to make some stops and get some shots.
Luke Jacobson out there. He's been effective. They outlet ahead. DeVellis.
Wow.
Nice cut. Millette. He has 4 points all in the half. 63-25. Andover goes to the bench here with 12:15 to go. Kick ball, no call. Rodriguez lost the handle. Millette hands it off. Here's Masungu. Drives in. Got bumped. Board to DeVellis. No. Rebound fought for. Bodies fly around. They'll call a jump. And on that jump ball, Anoka's going to get it.
Yeah, and so the thing that's going to irritate Coach Jesse Jefferson is it just looks like you're getting outworked in a lot of these areas. When you see a DeVellis running the floor like he is and nobody's touching him or even engaging him until he's underneath the basket, that's just what you can't have.
There's Rodriguez running the point. Under 12 to go in the game. Drives in. Nice look. A little too hot. Goes off the chest to Lackinen. Tornadoes hang on. Out on the left. Here's Prawn. No. Rebound Anderson. He'll try and go back up and eventually kicks it out. Tornadoes around the perimeter. Rodriguez hits one.
They've been waiting for that. Keenan's been cold for a couple of games. Needed him to get one to go down for his confidence.
DeVellis to the middle. Off on the left. Jacobson, he traveled.
Yep.
They've called that all night.
Very consistent if you start moving before you pick. If you start moving your feet before you start putting the ball on the floor. The refs have been on top of it, and they're calling it. And it's an easy call.
Anderson goes to the bench, gets a nice hand from the coaching staff, and why not?
Really played hard.
He's definitely brought something.
Yeah, it really played hard for them tonight. Get some rebounds.
Feet down low on the deck. They have to get it back out. Ashwango hits a three from the deck. He was going down.
Nice make for Felix.
Jacobson got it.
What a great answer by Jacobson.
7. Leads the bench scoring for Andover. Tornadoes, quick three, no. Rebound, DeVellis, then he got fouled.
Little surprised that Musungu's still on the floor. Kopetsky's not on the floor right now. And you have this game in pretty good spot. You're up 35 with 10.5 to go. This is where you want to take care of your guys. But now Kopetsky's back in, so this is kind of interesting.
Musungu's going to sit.
Yeah.
And I think Jeremy Habel, it's like, I want one of those guys on the floor, even though with 10:49 to go, the game well in hand, up by 35. It's still a situation. That's kind of his rotation.
Right.
We saw that in the first half. I would think eventually they'll both be out.
Yeah, and you're getting – the thing is, I'm okay with it, too, if nobody else is scoring. But guys are chipping in. Jacobson's starting to make some shots. Nelson's starting to make some shots. You got guys on the floor who can make plays. And they're running the offense very efficiently.
And there's still a long way to go in the season. They're just 8-4, 12 games in. You've got the entire month of February into early March. So there is a long way to go. And the more experience, the better. Here's one from the corner. Rodriguez again.
We talk about just making a three, how it can really help get your confidence back. Now Rodriguez makes 2 in a row. I can't remember the last time he made 2 in a row in a game.
66-34. They get it ahead. DeVellis. Jacobson back to DeVellis. He's going to spot up for 3. That's an air ball. Fights for the rebound down on the deck. Stepping out of bounds. Nyamari, better watch out, might get a technical. They don't call it. He was frustrated that he stepped out in front of the Andover bench.
And the Andover bench was nice enough to let him know about that, too.
Yeah. Jacobson on the inbound. Here's Kopetsky. Ben Kopetsky, 17 at the half, 19 now in the game. Gives it up. They get it down low. All that. Backs his way in. Up. Got the bucket.
Yeah, nothing Peyton Lackinen can do there. Does not have the size to body up. And got beat on the inside by Mallet. And there's a turnover.
That's an over and back as Ashwango runs it down. 10:03 to go in the game. 68-34. Andover's going to have the ball. More substitutions in. Housey back on the floor. Lagnin's going to sit. You got Jacobson, Kopetsky, DeVellis, Mallet, and also out there, looks like Strangy. Inside, Mallet, up, out, Housey, battled him for the board, coming out of there. Nyamari trying to get it ahead, and that goes off an Andover Husky. He was trying to get it to Borchers down low.
Noah Van Voorhis is on the floor, it looks like, first time calling him.
That's right.
And
number 25.
That's right. So you're starting to see some different guys get on the floor here for this Husky team.
Housey drives in, scoop, no.
He's had a tough night.
Nice look. Kopetsky to Jacobson. 5.5, 9 in the game. 70-34 Andover. 9:32 to go in the game. Down low. Rodriguez couldn't finish. Jacobson the board. I don't know if we're going to see Musungu come into the game. Kopetsky's still out there down the lane. Gives it up in the corner. Millette. Further outside, Van Voorhees. Here's driving in. Jacobson got it to go. Jacobson's had a really nice game. He's in double figures.
Kopetsky had a layup. He gave it up because he's, I think, interested in moving the ball around right now on the floor.
I think that's a good strategy. Get everybody involved. Driving down the lane, Nyamari, and he got bumped by Millette, and he'll get free throws.
And we are in running time now officially here as the lead has ballooned up.
Team fouls are even, by the way, at 4 apiece.
Yeah, it's been a very clean basketball game. It's
Yeah,
been very, I mean,
they
neither
let
team's
them
really
play.
getting after it. Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that. I've seen games where they call everything, and that's no fun. It's for the officials, and they have a tough job, but finding that balance of keeping the game so nobody gets hurt.
Especially rivalry games like this, they tend to over-officiate early to try to set a tone, and I like the idea of letting these guys play a little bit. We learned a lot about these teams early on.
Nyamari gets them. He has 13 to lead the Tornadoes, 72-36. Down the lane, Kopetsky with the left hand, couldn't finish. Reeder the board.
And again, the big man wants to take it the whole way.
And he'll get it. Reeder has 3 in each half. 72-38.
I think they really need him to become a rebounder, but also a reliable scorer.
Nice look. The football quarterback, Connor DeVellis, hit the cutter. Kopetsky, he has 21.
And the help defense for Anoka, that's one area that absolutely has to improve. It just seems like once you beat the first guy, there's no help. And it's just one-on-one defense.
Sure. Double team comes, tries to go into the corner, and it's knocked away by Jacobson. And Jacobson off the bench has really been a key guy. I've been impressed. First time I've seen Andover this season. But Luke Jacobson, the junior, is kind of that third guard, does a really nice job.
I agree, and he's been really good in this half as well, hitting outside shots, but also getting to the basket, and that's a really it's a big weapon when you have that third scorer that you can really depend on.
Sure, as 10 in the game, gives it up to Reeder. Got in trouble, double team comes, still fought for it in the corner. That 3-ball, no rebound, battled for. Borchers couldn't grab it. And now Jacobson for the Huskies. Dribble into the front court. Millette over to the left. Van Voris. Millette backs his way in.
Mouse in the house
strong.
right there.
Gets it right back. Up and in.
That's what we call the mouse in the house, Steve. You get the big guy on the little guy inside the paint that deep, forget about it.
Driving to the hole, Rodriguez drew the foul. Won't get a chance for a three-point play, but will get free throws. Under 6 to go in the game.
If you're going to take something positive out of this half for Anoka, that you're seeing Keenan Rodriguez playing a little more engaged. A couple of games he's really struggled to find his shot, find a place in the rotation, feel comfortable on the floor. Come out in this second half, make a couple of three-pointers, get to the basket a little bit. I think you can be encouraged by the fact that it seems like Keenan might be finding his groove.
Timeout on the floor, 76-38, Andover. And here's what's coming up for the Huskies. Next Tuesday, they host Blaine. Next Thursday, at Coon Rapids. They got a busy week. And then Saturday night, January 29th, 1 week from tomorrow night, they'll take on Robbinsdale Cooper at St. Michael Albertville. And then for the Tornadoes, here's what they've got coming up on the schedule. Next Tuesday at Rogers and at Centennial. Tuesday, Thursday. So the Tornadoes on the road next week.
It's one thing that's interesting about Andover's schedule this year. Their losses have come to some pretty tough teams, right? Spring Lake Park, that play pretty tenacious defensively. Yeah. They got blown out there early on. Park Cottage Grove, White Bear Lake. But other than that, since that White Bear Lake game, what a run they've played. Scoring in the 70s and the 80s pretty consistently, beating the teams within the conference, beating the teams around them, and only really losing to the really strong teams that are out there in Spring Lake Park and in Lakeville South. This is a really good, second-level team that I don't know if they're up there with the top echelon, but they're going to beat everybody below it.
A great win at Maple Grove, 73-62, beating the Crimson there. And then blowing out Champlain Park on Tuesday night, 70-52.
Yep.
Played very well. And I think as the season goes on, Andover is still going to be a force to reckon with.
I'm looking forward to that game against Coon Rapids coming up in a couple of weeks, because that Coon Rapids team's really strong. We saw them score 92 against this Anoka team the other night, and they've got a couple of big-time scores. That should be really fun.
Rodriguez has 7 in the half and the game. 76-39 our score. Coming up on 5:30 to go in the game, here's Jacobson. Jacobson gets hammered, gives it up in the corner. That missed three by Strengy. Andover still hangs on. Jacobson again. Trying to dribble, being hounded on the perimeter. Finds his shot.
Wow.
15-footer is good. Boy, he worked for that.
Yeah, he really did. Took a big hit, got right back up, and stayed in the play.
9.5, 13 in the game. Definitely getting it done. They get it down low, and then Jacobson picks it up.
Not a lot of
making a case
spacing.
for more minutes.
No question.
Top guy off the bench for sure. I think, with all due respect to their big guys, Nelson and Angel, if they could get Malek going, there's Jacobson again. 11.5.
I'm with you there. If they can get the bigs to be like an offensive weapon at all, like to contribute from the inside,
yep.
Oh my goodness, forget about it. But they've got the outside shooting. That's not a problem. They've got that in spades.
Shot from the corner by
Evan
the Tornadoes. Frecking, 6'4" sophomore with the miss.
They do have
Hand
some
over the
young size, Anoka does, with Lackinen at sophomore, Reeder's young. And now you talk Evan Frecking. There's some young players here. Padani, a freshman.
Van Voris driving in from the perimeter, and the scoop is good for Caden Wheeler. Wheeler gets his name in the scorebook. Well, it's already there, but he gets a number next to it. Two-pointer, 82-39.
And the stuff Coach Jesse Jefferson was worried about, it's like defensively we're really struggling, and there it is again, another night where you're giving up 80+.
And early on, Musungu and Kopetsky, 17 apiece at the half. Kopetsky just lights out from the perimeter. Under 3.5 to go in the game.
Yep.
Now we got to travel there. Amanda turns it over. He had a couple of fouls. And
was nominated for Morp King today, though. Was nominated for Morp Royalty to Alpha Commanda. I got to give some love to my guy, Alpha.
Hey, that's a big deal. Here's Jacobson. Andover getting ready to bring in guys down at the end of the bench. Jacobson will be coming out. There's one from the perimeter, rattling in. That's Tate Johnson getting in the act. 2:45 to go. There's a leaner, up and in. Good play there by Chell.
Yeah, Sawyer Shell. We've heard the Shell name for a long time with baseball, and there we get a chance to see it on the basketball court.
Jacobson one more time. That's short. Rebound controlled by the Tornadoes. Good play. Good job there by Pra.
Oh.
We got a chance for a three-point play. We may.
Yeah, Felix Ashwangi on the nice take inside.
He got decked.
He did.
Get a chance for a three-point play.
So
foul, by the way, is going to go against Johnson, his first.
So running time still, Steve. Really, this Andover team really impressed me, though. Holy cow. They've got guys all over the place. And then even in the second, we were all about Kopetsky Musungu, and rightfully so. But in the second half, you saw a lot from guys like Jacobson.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, you're like, man, it seems like they've got players all over the place.
Yeah, Landon Nelson really set the tone as well. He didn't score in the first half. A couple of steals, couple of buckets, and did a really nice job defensively.
Yeah, really impressed.
There's a steal for the Tornadoes. Pra gets it.
Got it back under 40 with a minute 10.
We got a foul in the backcourt.
And they are clearing the bench in Andover on the Andover side. A
Under
lot
a
of the young
minute to
kids
go.
getting
Why
in.
not? Getting into the game, Michael
Dedian. Sophomore, 5'11". Number 3, Keegan Fogarty on the floor, has it right now. A lot of these young kids getting in.
They get it down low, blocked out of there. Here come the Tornadoes. Ashwangi ahead. Rebound comes down and knocked out of bounds. I don't know if we're going to see another shot under 25 seconds to go. Andover rolls in this one. They led it 42-19 at the half. Andover may get another shot at it.
They feel really, I mean, if you're Anoka, this one's going to bug you because you were really looking forward to this game. This was one that you were very excited to play, and you just came out and you got hit in the mouth a little bit early on by this Husky team that's really, really talented. And it's back to the drawing board for the Tornadoes, and this Husky team continues to roll, Steve. Been really, really impressive with what they've done this season.
Well, in this ball game, Jade Nyamari led the way for the Tornadoes with 13. On the flip side, Andover was led by Sam Masungu with 23, Ben Kopetsky with 21, and then Luke Jacobson 11 in the second half, 15 in the game, and the Huskies moved to 9-4 with a big victory tonight, 85-46. The Tornadoes fall to 3-10 on the season. Once again, real quick, next week for Anoka, on the road at Rogers Tuesday, on the road at Centennial on Thursday. Busy week for Andover. Tuesday they host Blaine, Thursday on the road at Coon Rapids, and then 1 week from Saturday night we'll play Robbinsdale Cooper up at St. Michael Albertville. Been a lot of fun, Tim. Haven't seen you in a while.
Always good to see you, Steve. We got to do this more often, you and I.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's figure this out.
Taylor's got to put us on the schedule.
I know.
Big thanks to our camera operators here at Anoka High School, and of course Taylor Johnson directing the show as always. Been a lot of fun from my alma mater, Anoka High School tonight. I'm not going to admit that I walked out these doors with a certificate of graduation 40 years ago this year.
Wow.
Been 40.
My goodness.
It's amazing. All right, we got to run. Been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for joining us here on QCTV.